Okay.
Hello, this is Trail of Cthulhu being run for the Double Exposure Envoy RPG Gateway, and I am here today with Dave, Mel, and Keith, who are Call of Cthulhu Live role players that I met at Gen Con this year, and we're all very excited to take our Cthulhu hunting into the digital realm. Uh, so let me go quickly over the Trail of Cthulhu mechanics. Trail of Cthulhu is a gumshoe version of Call of Cthulhu, or it's the Call of Cthulhu version of Gumshoe, however you want to look at it. Gumshoe is an investigative game that focuses on solving mysteries. And there are numerous gumshoe variations, including one where you are solving mysteries in space, one where you are solving the international thriller conspiracy of vampires called Night's Black Agents. There's a gumshoe version where you are the beat cops in a superhero infested and supervillain infested city, Mutant City Blues. And there's a new gumshoe hack or gumshoe system coming out called Time Watch, where you are time travelers, basically time cops, trying to keep the timeline from getting messed up by illicit time travelers. So it's a good system because it enables investigative stories fairly well, and that's kind of the heart and soul of Call of Cthulhu. So that's what we're going to play today. So I have sent out a link to our Google Drive folder for all of the character sheets, and let's talk a little bit now about those characters. Available are Amanda Jones. She is a journalist and an investigator. She's from Brooklyn. Her dad was a baseball player. Let me give a little setting here really quick, sorry. It's the 1930s. You are in Indiana traveling to Indianapolis to basically be there for the opening of their new baseball stadium. There's a couple of characters who are baseball players. There's sort of a baseball theme, and there's I don't know, it's kind of exciting because we've got the World Series happening next week, and I'm kind of excited about that. So even though my Cubbies didn't make it, and so that's where we are, and when we are. So Amanda Jones is a female. She's basically a female sports reporter. So she's kind of a trailblazer. And then we have Brad Heller, who is a Negro League catcher. So he is a baseball player. He's also black. And like Amanda, he's kind of bucking the trends. He's kind of a trailblazer. So he is, and he's got kind of a religious background as well. And then we have, let's see here. Alan Lansdale. He is a doctor, and he's kind of a sports medicine doctor. So he's heading to Indianapolis to get a job there with the baseball team. We've got Eugene Stafford. Gene used to be a criminal, and he'd like to use his Louisville Slugger for something a little bit more of an honest day's work. And then we have Fran Tyler. She is actually not a baseball person. She is a writer who writes about supernatural phenomenon. So for her, this trip is less about Indianapolis and more. She's really more interested in gathering stories on the way. So those are the characters that are available. And what do you guys think? Who wants to play what? What is appealing?
I would be interested in the first one.
Amanda?
Yeah.
Okay.
The reporter? Yeah.
Anybody object?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't object.
All right.
Unless you want to play the girl.
I always kind of want to play a girl, but it's okay, Mel. Today, I think I'm going to go with the doctor.
You could play Fran. She's also female.
I could. Let's see. Yeah, authors. I'll be a doctor.
All right. Amanda Jones. That was Keith, right?
Yep.
Wanting to be the doctor? Okay. Dr. Lansdale. Okay. And Dave, what do you think? Dave, I can't hear you. I
Sorry,
don't know if you're...
turn it off. Can I be Eugene?
Yeah, absolutely. And Eugene. Great. I'll make a couple notes here. All right. So if you take a look at your character sheets, you will see that you have on the left side you have sanity, stability, health. The one you're going to need to focus most on are health and a little bit stability. Sanity doesn't have as big of a play in a short game like this, so don't worry too much about that one. And then if you scroll down to the bottom half of the sheet, you will find 4 sets of abilities. There's academic, interpersonal, technical, and general. And the general abilities work one way, and all the other abilities work a different way. So I'm going to explain how they work in a gumshoe game. And this is true in Trail of Cthulhu, it's true in Night's Black Agents, Mutant City Blues, Ashen Stars, Time Watch. Abilities, there's investigative abilities, and then there's general abilities, and how you use them varies a little bit. So let me first talk about general abilities, okay? So if you look at your general abilities, for example, I'm looking at Fran Tyler's character sheet, but everybody's got, different abilities. And Fran Tyler has 2 points in disguise. It's a general ability. She has 0 points in electrical repair. Does that mean that she cannot do electrical repair? No, she can try. When she tries, she rolls a d6, and if she gets better than a 4 or better, she can probably repair most basic things. She can spend her disguise points to give her a +1 or even a +2 if she wants to spend 2 of them on her disguise roll. And I require that you spend them before you roll. Some GMs play it differently. In Trail of Cthulhu, I like to make it before so that there's a little bit more tension. Other gumshoe games, I'm a little more fast and loose on that. But so, for example, if she's trying to sneak into something or she's trying to impersonate someone, she might say, okay, well, I want to make a disguise. It's important. I'm going to spend both of my points. And then what she does is she rolls a d6. She adds the 2 points that she just spent, and the total, whatever the total is her score for that roll. Now, and some rolls will be opposed, but most of the time it's going to be on a static 4 or better. Sometimes it will be harder, and I'll let you know when it is. I will not tell you the target roll the target every time. But for example, you're trying to disguise yourself to get past a guard who is really well trained, and it's going to be a little harder. Okay, well then she knows she probably should spend the points. If it's something like, oh well, I'm fighting this person, this thug. All right, well, you're fighting him, but you're fighting in the dark, and he's really good at that. So it's going to be harder for you to fight him. It gives you some idea that okay, that's a good time to spend those points because you want to hit him. You want to hit the target even if it's higher than 4. So, and if it's really easy, I'll usually let you know that it's going to be really easy. Or if you're going to spend the points and I know it's really easy, I might even say you might not need to spend points on that. Like, we're still rolling because maybe it's a 3, but it may not be worth spending the points. Now, there is no such thing as a critical success or a critical failure in Gumshoe, so if you roll a 1 and you have spent 5 points, it's still a 6, okay? And that means it's probably a success. If you roll a 6, a natural 6, it doesn't mean you did it twice over. It just means you got 6 plus whatever you spent. So there you go. There's a couple of general abilities that are a little different, like sanity, stability, and health. Those are actually like your points, like your hit points for those tracks, and those are reflected, as I mentioned, at the on the left-hand side of your character sheet. First aid is how you try to help somebody who's been hurt, and scuffling is fisticuffs. Firearms is when you're shooting somebody or something, and weapons is I'm going to hit it with my Louisville Slugger. Okay? Any questions about general abilities?
Nope, sounds good.
Okay.
Everything's clear?
All right. We will probably not have time for general abilities to really refresh during this demo, so don't worry about how you would get those points back. You would, in a longer game, you would get them back when you recover and so forth. Let's talk about investigative skills. So if you take a look at your investigative skills, that's the academic abilities, the interpersonal abilities, and the technical abilities. So for example, you might have points in accounting. And if you have a point in accounting, that means that you know a lot about accounting. If you have a point in something, you're an expert in it. If you have 2 points in something, wow, you're a real expert in it. Fran, whose character sheet I'm looking at right now, has 5 points in credit rating. That means this woman is filthy rich, and like, why is she bothering traveling with people? It's ridiculous. She should own her own railway, because those skills work a little differently. Let me see. I'm going to look at somebody else. Let's see. Eugene. Eugene has, that's a good example. Eugene has a point in flattery, okay? So that means that Eugene is actually really good at it. That's the doctor. Or, no, sorry, that's Stafford. Yeah. Do you want a nickname? I mean, you're from the street.
Sure. Trying to think of it right now.
You can think of it when you can.
Okay.
So, but he's good at flattery. That means he's an expert at it. He's a smooth talker, right? Now, if you're in a situation where you're doing an investigation of something and you're talking to somebody who has information and you want to get the information out, and you're like, well, I'm going to sweet talk this person. I'm going to use some flattery. I'm going to, talk up their ego a little bit and see where I get with that. Most of the time, I'll just say, okay, cool, that works. And you don't even have to spend the point or anything. It's just that is the way that you got that clue, and the clue that you get is going to relate to how you extracted it. Okay. It might, you might have like cop talk is another interpersonal skill that, it lets you know the lingo, things like that. So when you use it, you just flat out use it. You just say, well, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm approaching it. I'm kind of using my flattery skills to get this done. And because you had a point in flattery to, on your character sheet, you're already an expert in it. Now, say what you're trying to do or get or the information that you want is really obscure. And maybe it's not a core clue in this adventure. It's like, well, and in my adventure notes, it'll actually say, well, this is sort of a side clue. If they want to know everything that's going on, they can spend these points and they pick up extra little clues here and there and more information, and they might get their fingers into more areas of the story. Those are what you're spending your investigative points for. If you never spend an investigative point in a Gumshoe game, you get the bare spine of the story, and that's fine. I mean, as long as you're continuing to look for clues, you will get them, and you will learn. Like you'll kind of learn what happened, but you won't necessarily learn why. You won't necessarily learn how to stop it. You won't necessarily learn like who. You might just learn, oh, we got here too late. This guy is dead, and we know that a thing killed it. So you might get just the spine, but if you spend those points, you get a bigger story, and sometimes you're able to, stop the bad guy from succeeding at whatever horrible thing they have planned. Because this is Trail of Cthulhu, so you know it's going to be bad. End of the world, whatever. What even is? But when you spend the point, say you spent your point of flattery on stroking the cop's ego, and now you've got some information from him, cool. You are still an expert in flattery. You can't spend that point anymore, but you can still use that skill. What you can't do is you can't use a skill that you never had a point in for the investigative skills. General abilities, no problem. You have no points in first aid, you can still slap a Band-Aid on it. You can still roll the die to see. But the investigative skills, if you don't have a point, too bad. You can't use that skill, and that's okay, because probably somebody else in your team will have that skill, or will have a skill that kind of covers whatever that thing is. There might be a point during the game where I say, hey, does anybody have this? And if nobody has the skill, then it'll be on me to find another skill that you guys can match to get the clue. Because we only have right now we only have 3 players, so that's just one of those things where instead of figuring out like, oh, what skills are missing, let's match them up. Don't worry about it. I may hand wave. I may say, okay, well, you now know chemistry. There you go. For whoever is the closest fit. Are there any questions about investigative skills?
Nope, I'm good.
No, this is good.
Okay. Do you guys have any other questions about the game before we get started?
Nope.
Not yet.
Oh, all right. Then I am going to pull up my game here. Hold on. I've got the adventure in PDF here, so Windows. There we go. All right. It's 1931, and the Indianapolis Indians have just opened their new Perry Stadium on 16th Street. Also, the newly reformed Indianapolis ABCs are playing in the Negro National League. Traveling to Indianapolis cross-country from New York in quite a decent car, the Ford Model A sedan, are you looking to take advantage of these exciting times? In your group, you have a sports journalist, you have a ball player, you have a doctor, and a gentleman whose car it is who is driving, and his name is Woodrow. Woodrow Chadwick, I think. Yeah, Chadwick. Now, unmarried women, such as Amanda, traveling with gentlemen and are generally viewed with some suspicion, but you guys have managed to make a fairly easy route of it. Now, Woodrow Chadwick is also an author, like Fran was. She's not in the party, but and you took a slight detour in Ohio to check out a haunting. So you'd hope to make better time because you want to be in Indianapolis tonight. So you've been forced to push on into the evening, and now you're just south of Muncie. It is a moonless night. It is clear and cold, being March, and the stars are very bright. Up ahead, as you're pulling, as you're driving down this kind of dirtish road, you see a police officer flagging the car down with a torch. And he approaches and he asks Woodrow Chadwick to get out of the car because he needs to talk to him. And Woodrow kind of grumbles, but he gets out of the car and goes to speak to the police officer in the headlights. Does anybody do anything?
Where am I sitting in the car, I guess?
Where would you like to be sitting?
I will sit next to Amanda.
Okay, so I guess that means you're probably in the back seat.
All right. That's what I like to hear. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for choosing my location, Keith.
Yeah, right.
You like how I did that?
So that's the doctor, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So Eugene, I guess you're sitting up front
Okay.
next to Woodrow,
right.
who's he's a little odious, but a little too much of an egghead, but whatever. So do you guys do anything?
I'm too scared to do anything, so I'm gonna stay in the car. I'm gonna look at Amanda, kind of wonder if she's gonna do anything.
Amanda,
I'll
are you
see
doing
what
anything?
Woodrow's gonna do.
No, but I'm probably taking notes.
All right.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You're a journalist. I was just gonna say.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Take. And what's in those notes? I have to ask Amanda.
Wouldn't you like to know?
We pulled over.
Right. That's it. That's all that's pulled over. Period. So as you guys are kind of sitting there hanging out, Keith, does Dr. Lansdale have any kind of sense trouble abilities?
Let me see. I don't know actually. I don't. He seems like he's sort of like kind of even keeled kind of guy. He doesn't freak out too much, so.
Okay.
I don't think he sees anything wrong with a cop pulling cars over in the middle of the night.
Okay, that's fine. I was just asking because
Oh.
you mentioned that he's a little scared, so.
Yeah, he is. But
I
he's
have
always
sense
scared.
Okay.
Do I sense trouble?
you wanna use it?
Oh, I sure. Why not?
Sure, why not? Okay. So so if you want to spend any of your points on it, go ahead and
Is that a hint?
it's up to you. It's totally up to you.
Stop metagaming.
It's not especially difficult. Let's put it
Okay.
that way.
No, I'll just go with my regular.
Okay, so then just roll a d6.
So it's slash roll. Is it 1d6?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome. All right. So you're kind of
She's lost in my eyes. I think.
yeah. Apparently, the trouble is sitting next to you. That's
I know that.
that's what you're learning here. So as you're kind of sensing trouble from the good doctor, you guys, Eugene, you're probably watching Woodrow and the police officer because cops, right? And you see that they're talking in the headlights, and then this shadow just swoops down, and like almost before you can blink, the officer is just knocked aside, and you catch just this fleeting glimpse of Woodrow's Woodrow's legs as he's dangling as he's just lifted up and carried off. I need you to roll a stability check. And you may spend stability points if you want to, but if you fail this roll, you're just going to lose them. So you might
all
not.
of us? Everyone?
Starting with Eugene.
Okay.
All right, let me just a 1d6.
Mm-hmm.
I totally didn't see that. I was not looking in that direction, I think.
Clearly not.
All right. So Eugene, you're You're holding on. You're okay. And then Amanda and Dr. Lansdale, you go ahead and roll as well, because although you didn't necessarily see the whole thing, you do kind of look over and see that something is on, the cop is on the ground, and you hear this screeching. So, cool, Dr. Lansdale. That didn't go well.
Nope.
That didn't go well for you at all.
Did I fall into Amanda's lap or something?
You just, you're like so startled because you okay. And you just like you are shaken. So you're gonna lose a point of stability from this experience, and you definitely see that there is, that the cop is on the ground in front of the headlights. What are you guys gonna do now?
Is he moving?
No. Do you want to get out and check him?
Not really. Amanda, you go check out. Go see if he's moving. If he's moving, I'll come out and save his life.
You're the doctor. Get your butt out there.
I'll get out of the car. I won't go over there. Just get out for a closer look.
Okay. So Eugene bravely hops out of the car to check the cop, and he's you've seen worse, but not while they were living. Let's put it that way. He's dead. He's very dead. His head is almost completely twisted off.
How's he look there, Eugene?
It's a little too dark to tell, but I think I'll get a closer look.
All right, why don't you? Okay, I'll come out. So I'm gonna come out and help him.
Okay.
Take a closer look.
So
Woodrow's
Dr. Lansdale,
completely gone now?
Yeah, Woodrow is like, you can sort of hear male screaming somewhere pretty far away.
I love how you distinguish male and female screaming.
Well, like there's a high pitch, but yeah, like he's not screaming like a girl. He's screaming like a terrified man.
Okay, I'd probably scream like a girl just for the record. Someone picked me up and swept me away.
Which direction is it coming from?
It's really hard to tell because it's dark and there is no moon out.
I'm gonna call out for Woodrow.
Okay.
Woodrow.
Okay. Dr. Lansdale, you get up to the cop, and boy, is he quite dead. Head is like twisted completely around. He's not going to make it.
Based on my medical check, he might still be alive.
So, now this is a really good example.
You go to.
Well, this is a good example though. Medicine is an investigative skill you don't actually roll.
Oh, okay.
So if you tell me that you're doing a medical check, then I just give you this information, or I say, well, do you want to spend a point?
Okay, I'm doing first aid then.
Okay. So first aid tells you that he is beyond first aid.
Yeah, okay. He's dead, guys.
Yeah, he's quite dead. Yeah.
I can't save him.
You cannot save him.
What happened to him?
If you want to, do you want to like check him over using your medical knowledge?
No, I think I'm just gonna go throw up on the hood of the car.
Okay, you can do that. There is Eugene, as you come back and take a look at the body. We can call it a body now. Amanda, you're still in the car, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to start looking around for a flashlight because I think we need to actually have some, light out there.
The cop was actually carrying a flashlight when he was attacked.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to get that close to the body, although I'm happy to take notes.
You don't have a flashlight in the car, but Eugene, you see that the flashlight has rolled a couple of feet away, and the beam of the light is kind of hits a notebook, a police officer's notebook for taking notes during a scene.
Oh. I'm gonna pick up the notebook and the flashlight.
Okay.
Does he have a firearm? Because I'm strangely well versed in firearms for a doctor.
Well, you kind of backed away from the corpse pretty quickly.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Do you wanna get close again?
Yes, please.
All right. So you get back up to the cop to search him over for a firearm, and uh, um, he does have a sidearm when you roll him over, and he's like soaking in blood.
Okay.
Okay.
I've seen worse, guys. I've seen worse. Oh, not really. I still think that was fire. I got Plan A and Plan B going right now. Plan B is not so good. Plan A is much better. Plan A, we try to find Woodrow. Plan B,
Right.
Plan B, I shoot myself in the head.
Well, now you've got Plan B, I guess. Eugene, you picked up the notebook.
Yeah, first I want to shine this flashlight around, see what I can see in the darkness.
Okay. You pretty much see like farmland around, corn stalks and trees, and yeah. Kind of far off to the side, across a field, you actually do see a farmhouse.
Uh-huh.
So, I guess the good doctor is probably wondering if we should just pull the corpses off the road, the corpse, sorry, and drive away. I'm a little freaked out. Convo is freaking me out.
Little freaked out. Okay. Well, you're certainly playing the stability hit that you took there.
All right, let's see what this notebook says.
All right.
Notepad.
So you check through the notebook, and you have cop talk, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
I have, one in cop talk.
All right. So this is a core clue. You don't have to spend for this or anything. So you were investigating a disturbance at the Crane farmstead. Or sorry, he was investigating a disturbance at the Crane farmstead. The neighbors, the Dickleys, reported a 1067 and a 1091B coming from the farm, possibly a 1070. And you know from Cop Talk that means it's strange noises and screams coming from the farm, possibly a prowler. There's also a note there that the Dickleys are the only family in the area that have a phone, which is probably why they were the one to call it in. And as you're scanning the nearby area, you do not see the police officer's vehicle.
So he walked here.
Walked or stumbled.
Stumbled. That's even worse.
He had to have taken a car here from somewhere, and if we get to the car, we can radio the other police, right?
Possibly.
Okay, well, I'm gonna walk up to the window where Amanda's sitting and slam my bloody hands on the window and say, "Hey, I think we should get out of here."
Okay, there's gonna be some screaming from the back of the car.
You can add that to the 1070 or whatever that is.
All right, so Amanda, your good friend Dr. Lansdale is apparently trying to terrify you for whatever reason.
Yep. So there's gonna be a scream. I'm gonna get out of the car, and then I'm gonna hit him with my purse.
Okay.
Oh, is that gonna hurt? Probably does.
Oh yes.
Do you have to make an attack or something?
I don't know.
Or a swipe with the purse. You know,
A
that's
swipe. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
those 1930 purses are just nasty.
They're solid.
Yeah. So he's gonna get a swipe with the purse, going, "What the heck are you thinking about?"
Okay. So, yeah, what are you guys gonna do?
Can I see if the flashlight will show if there's a police car by the farmhouse?
Well, you've shined it over the fields, and you don't see the cop car. But there's lights on at that farmhouse.
So I'm taking that the farmhouse is in the opposite direction to where Woodrow was taken, or are they both in the same direction?
No, actually, Woodrow was well, you don't really know because, I mean, he was just swooped up If you were to hazard a guess based on the little bit that you heard, possibly the same direction as the farmhouse. Possibly.
So I think we should jump in the car and drive towards the farmhouse to radio for help. Can we drive through corn rows in the car?
Sure.
I think I have
Probably a
Kleenex in my
driveway.
purse.
You have what?
Kleenex in my purse. I'm handing them to Keith, the doctor, to clean his hands up. You're not getting into a car dressed like that.
Just in blood.
Ugh.
So can anyone actually drive the car? Actually, that's probably a good
I'll
question.
drive it.
Okay. We should probably drive there. I was thinking about walking there, but corn rows are freaky.
That's an evil laugh if I've ever heard it.
Look, when you're running a Cthulhu scenario, anytime people are afraid of like something like cornrows, it's just like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go.
All right.
Question mark.
So,
Okay.
Eugene, are you driving? Are you guys
Yeah.
leaving the cop there?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. There's not much we can do.
It's not my problem.
We can bring his corpse with us if it'll make you guys feel better, and put him in
No.
the back seat with
Nope.
Amanda.
No.
Nope.
Not
Okay.
driving through a Trail of Cthulhu scenario with a corpse in the backseat. I don't know why.
So, okay, I'm not gonna meta this, because I was gonna be like, maybe we should just behead him now. It's technically off. It could accidentally fall. Anyways, okay, let's go.
All right. So Eugene's driving, and are you guys gonna follow the road, or are you gonna just go straight across the cornfield?
I assume there's some kind of driveway or road that takes us up there, right?
Probably if you drive slow enough, you might see where it turns off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. All right. So you drive along this road, and it's not too far before you see the turn off, the driveway basically, and you come up to this farmhouse. This is you actually pass the mailbox where it says Crane, so you know you're at the Crane farmstead, and yeah, okay. So you arrive here, and the yard at first, you think, oh, that maybe he's got like a weird, they've got like a weird mud patch here, but no, the yard and the dirt around like the front of the house is just covered in blood and
No.
the flesh of animals. Everyone, please roll a stability check.
Wait, how do we know it's blood? Someone should go and taste it.
Yeah, you should do that. Go ahead,
Go
Doc.
ahead, doctor.
I think it totally should. I'm being very rational about this now. Look, I got a 5.
Okay, so Amanda, you are shaken by this. You lose 2 stability points on this one because you're looking around, you see that there's like chunks of flesh, and you just like shudder when you realize that like you see like a femur that has bite marks on it.
Can I try to reassure her by clasping her hands within mine with my bloody hands?
No.
Everything will be okay.
You are
It's
totally.
not real.
You are not
It's not
touching
real.
me.
I'm gonna prove to you it's not real. I'm gonna go outside, and this is just leftover from Halloween.
Yeah, you can totally try to reassure her.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Amanda, is it
I'll
effective?
smear blood on her by accident.
No, you touch me, I'll hit you with my purse again.
Okay, so she's still too jumpy, obviously.
Clearly.
And you actually see that like there's like things have been nailed to the barn. There's strange symbols that have been like marked on the barn. Eugene, because you're not fixated on the blood and the flesh of everything, you actually see that off to one side there's a police car parked with both doors open. And let me move us to that.
If you put up a clown, I'm gonna freak out.
A clown.
Can I like go out and test and see if the blood's real by like tasting it?
You could, sure.
Alright.
You don't necessarily need to taste test it because you're a doctor. You know what blood smells like.
Right. Okay.
You know how sticky it is in your fingers when you
All right.
touch it.
So I go outside and I touch it around and mull. I go, guys, this is real. This is actually blood.
And actually, you can also tell that these are animal parts and it's animal blood.
It's animal blood. It's not human. We're okay.
Yeah, we're totally fine. This is not creepy at all.
Animals.
I'm going to use the flashlight to see what's in this police car.
Okay, so you go over to the police car, and the first thing you notice is the dead police officer in the front seat behind the steering wheel. His chest has a shotgun wound, very large, gaping, and his sidearm is on the floor.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys, he's been shot.
Oh my god. It's all relative
the
to me.
radio in the car?
There is no radio in the car because it's 1931.
Oh.
And this is rural Indiana, and they don't have a radio.
I think I'm going to start taking notes because, journalists.
You still in the car, Amanda? Because I think I'm out of the car, and so is Eugene, right?
I am out of the car.
Okay.
I'm not being. Yeah, I'm just going to take notes of the things going on the wall. I mean, I have to have something I have to focus on.
Sure. So what you're focusing on, obviously, is drawing, repeatedly the diagrams that are drawn on the barn wall over and over. Right.
No, just
I'm
one.
going to radio my firearm just because I feel like there might be an animal on the prowl, and I don't want to be taken by surprise. So.
Okay, so you've picked up. No, you already had the other cop's firearm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I'm leaving a second one for some resourceful person to pick up.
Yeah, it might make sense for my character to pick up the gun here.
Sure. Okay. So you pick that up, and I will say that Eugene, you probably do have in the car. You probably do have a baseball bat. That would make sense for you. So, just FYI, if you decide that you need a handy weapon.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go back to her here. All right. Amanda.
I'm just taking notes of the scene of the crime because obviously,
absolutely.
I don't want to be reporting on sports for the rest of my life.
Right. You see that there's a pipe, and also you've spent the last week or so talking with Woodrow, who is also a writer and an author. So he's been telling you about hauntings and things, and what a lucrative direction that is. You see that there's a water tower, just like you would expect at a farm, and that there's a pipe that leads from the water tower, and it's actually making like a little stream running into the barn.
Mm-hmm.
The farmhouse itself, of course, still has the lights on.
Every fiber of my being makes me want to burn this house down, but I'm going to go and knock on the door instead.
Okay. So you go up to the door.
Oh, boys, you might want to take a look at this pipe.
Oh, yeah?
And I gesture to the water tower type thing.
Oh, is that something else rather than knocking? Okay, so I guess I'll follow what Amanda tells me to do. I was about to knock on the door, and I stopped mid-knock, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got like your hand on the door.
Yeah.
All right, so none of you really have occult as an investigative skill, right?
I don't believe in it.
Oh, we will shortly.
So we'll say, Amanda, that you've been talking with Woodrow enough the last week or so that you've picked up a little bit here and there of knowledge, and this is like that particular, making a stream, and sort of all the blood and everything. It might be some sort of ritual or spell going on. Certainly, it's not like a normal, this is not a normal, oh, it's the fall butchering or anything like that. This is There's
You think?
yeah, more going on here.
Okay, well, I will, obviously explain that to my fellow
Right.
people with guns.
Yeah. Eugene, you had gone up to the porch to knock on the door. And of course, it's lit from indoors, so you can kind of see through the window as you're coming up. And
Yeah, it's a
wow.
doctor.
Oh, you mean Alan?
Sorry, doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Lansdale. So, yeah, wow, like lots of blood and papers strewn everywhere.
Okay.
You don't see anybody inside. Still knock?
Yeah, I still knock.
Okay.
I gotta
Nobody
be
answers.
polite.
Yeah, sure. Nobody answers.
I scream to see if anyone's in there. Hey, hey. No, nothing.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I guess I tell Amanda to open the door. Amanda, there's no one home. You should go in.
God.
Can I use my flashlight to see who may have moved away from or towards this police car? If there's any kind of tracks or anything.
Yeah, sure. You can go take a look. Let's see. What would you use for that? Normally I'd use forensics for that. You are not skilled in it. So let's use stealth. Why don't you roll stealth? And you can spend points on it if you wish. Okay.
Didn't work out very well.
Yeah, you see some bloody footprints that kind of track into the corn fields, and then you lose them.
At this point, I enter the house, waiting for
Okay.
Amanda. Taking too long.
All right, so Amanda's taken too long. Dr. Lansdale, you open the door and you step into the house.
Mhm.
So of course, the first thing that you're hit by is the smell of blood again and decay.
The operating room.
Oh yeah. There's 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 like streaks of blood. There's mad scrawlings on the walls. There's papers strewn everywhere. There's some things are almost indescribable, but the word that comes to your mind is like organ meat. It's kind of grotesque.
Is it fresh?
No, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
fresh.
And we'll
Yeah.
What does the scribbling on the wall say? Can I say it out loud?
Oh. Sure.
Like, hey guys, look what I found. It says something like.
Well, and you have languages, right?
Yep.
So you start like reading it and kind of reading it, sounding it out loud, and it's Arabic actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good. That's good.
Kind of a mixture between English and Arabic, and you start kind of reading the notes on the walls and the scattered papers and so forth.
And because it's a different language, I'm reading it out loud.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And Amanda, you come in and you hear the doctor as you walk in, like speaking out loud in some.
Oh my God.
And the way, because I'm a little bit slow, so it sounds like I'm chanting.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
What are you doing?
I'm investigating.
Don't speak these words. You don't know what's coming forward.
It's a message from the dead.
Shh. Just shush.
I continue to
Amanda,
speak it out loud
Amanda,
until she stops me.
You actually have evidence collection. You could probably collect all these notes and make them, comprehensible.
I'm collecting.
Okay. Do you want to spend a point of your evidence collection to?
I think so.
compile these into something that...
Something useful, and stop that damn doctor from doing whatever the hell he's doing.
All right, so you start kind of sorting them into, no, these are the ones that go together, these are the ones that go, you can kind of tell because they're, these ones are written in the same ink, these are written in the same color blood, and so forth. Eugene, do you check out the rest of the house?
I'm going to come up to the house. So I was outside, and
right.
I saw the others go inside. And I've got to tell you guys, it's time to go. We shouldn't be here. This is a crime scene, and whatever's killing these people could still be around. Somebody was shot. I don't think we should be here. We should go straight to the police station.
You're going to come up with the voice of reason. That's wonderful.
In Call of Cthulhu, there's a voice of reason? Oh, that's usually me.
My medical curiosity is taken over.
Come on.
Amanda, you have acquired and collected what amounts to it is called the Crane Archive. For the party, you guys now have a pool of occult points for 2 points and Cthulhu Mythos point of 1 point.
Yay!
Ooh.
Eugene, they're obviously just way too into rifling through this guy's stuff. Dr. Lansdale. Oh yeah, go ahead.
The blood and guts on the wall. How does it look like they came to get there? Were they like splattered there, or put there intentionally? What does it look like?
Oh, they like this inside the house. It looks like in some cases it may have spurted, but then like things have been written in the blood using the blood. And in fact, do you go in?
Yeah.
What does it actually say? Because I was reading, I'm just kind of curious. What does it actually say?
Okay. Well, between you and Amanda, you gathered up all this information. I'll give that to you in a second. I want to give Eugene a second here because he's gonna find something important on the wall in the kitchen. Because as you kind of move through a little bit, you see that there is on the wall in the kitchen a map. It's a crudely drawn map, but you can kind of identify roughly where the map is supposed to be kind of heading. Some sort of quarry or something to the north. Dr. Lansdale and Amanda, as you piece together these notes and gaining some knowledge of the occult thereby, there are 3 spells represented in these papers. One of them is Call Dark Servitor. One of them is Summon Ancestor. And one of them is Blessing of the Dark.
I like that one.
Now, Dr. Lansdale, would you like to spend a point of your language's investigative skill to learn a little bit more about some of those spells?
Absolutely.
All right. The Summoned Ancestor spell is mistranslated.
Ooh. What does that mean?
It probably won't work the way it's intended.
Oh, that's sad. I kind of like the whole Blessing of the Dark. That sounds fun.
Yeah, isn't it?
Can I try to cast it on myself?
No.
I don't know.
It requires tools that you don't have. In fact, it requires a knife to be enchanted.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to go find a knife now.
Yeah, probably a special knife. Yeah. So, Eugene.
Yeah. Can I take the map with me?
No, it's scrawled on the wall, but you could probably sketch it out.
Okay. I'm gonna feel So go ahead. Sorry.
It's a map, but it shows how to get to a quarry from here. All right. Yeah, I'll sketch it out as best I can on this notepad I have collected from a police officer.
Yes.
But any sane person would probably say, well, now we know where the bad stuff is. We should probably go the opposite direction. We do have a map after all.
Right. Well, we can go take this to the police. But by then, our friend Woodrow could be dead.
Almost certainly.
We don't have time to do both.
I know, it's true. I never really liked Woodrow. He was a little snobby.
Oh, okay. We bonded in the driver's seat there during the drive.
I look to Amanda. Although to tell you the truth, my curiosity is starting to overcome me. So I'm with the group, whatever you guys want to do.
Okay.
Although my hand is
Eugene,
still shakingly holding the gun.
Right. Eugene, do you want to go? You want to go to the cops with this information?
No, I'm too worried about Woodrow. By the time we get to the cops, he could be dead. We could go check it out. I mean, it could be safer than it is here. This place does not look safe at all. Who knows if it's going to be?
Hey, didn't they say that they had the only working telephone out here?
No, that's the neighbors.
Oh.
Oh, we should go to the neighbors.
Oh, okay.
We should go there. With my nervous, shaking hand holding a gun.
Yes, you guys are covered in blood.
May I use your phone? That sounds like a plan. We should probably do that. Don't you think, Eugene?
I'm on board with that.
Well, no, think about it. We could do both. We could call it into the police and go to the quarry.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Let's do this.
We're going to go to the neighbors first.
Yep.
Okay. Which way do you think the neighbors is?
Can't be worse than this.
That's a good question.
I tell you what, we split up.
That's a great idea.
Well, we have 2 cars now, or 3. No, 2. We have a police car and our own car.
I'm doing Call of Cthulhu online.
Oh, hi, Jade.
This is my daughter, Jade, who just stuck her head in the camera. Hi! Okay.
Okay, I think we should probably stick together because we all know what happens.
Oh, yeah, no splitting up in this game. No splitting up in this game.
Okay, so let's go, I don't know, just pick a direction. Any direction, really.
So it's either further down the road or behind us. It's one of those.
Well, we would have known if we had passed it, though, right? If it was behind us.
Possibly. You actually, I mean, this is a really dark night, and if the lights are out at the Dickley's house, then you would never know.
Okay, well, we'll just pick one direction and run with that. I'll leave it up to Eugene. He seems the most sane out of all of us.
So far. At this point. Let's continue down the road we were going, and the next house we come to, we'll assume, is the neighbor.
Okay. All right. All right. So you guys drive down the road. It's about 10 minutes, and then you find like a neighbor's house, and you go up, and it's not the Dickleys, and they give you directions, but they are very like it's good that it's dark out because. You guys look like you're covered in blood, you know, because, yeah. So they give you directions. It's the Dickleys are like 20 minutes away at this point.
20 minutes is not too far.
Well, sure. I mean, for Woodrow, it's probably a lifetime.
Oh, I see. So it sounds like we're not getting to the phone, people.
You totally could go do that.
How far is it to like the police station at this point? Like an hour?
Unknown. Yeah, possibly.
Well, we don't know where the police station is, do we?
Yeah. It'll be in town, so it'll definitely be it'll be a while before the cops can get here.
Well, they'll come as soon as one of their own or 2 of their own don't return anyway.
It's true.
So smart. You make a good criminal, Eugene.
Right.
All right, to the quarry then.
All right, off to the quarry then.
Yeah, how long does it look like it'll take us to get there?
Your options are basically go to the neighbors and call the cops. Get on the road and make peace with Woodrow never coming back, or go to the quarry.
These other neighbors we're talking to now, do they know the people that lived at the house we were just at?
No, they're not really. They're like, oh yeah, the Cranes, they keep to themselves. Old man Crane keeps to himself. We don't have any truck with them.
Can I ask them if they'd like to go to the Dickleys and call the police?
Ooh, see, look at you, so smart.
They don't have a car.
Tell him to walk. Oh shoot! I'm just kidding.
They're just poor farmers. I mean,
I kid.
Yeah, we can hook up the horse to the what,
All right, well, we'll explain what happened anyway. There's been some kind of, let's call it an accident over at the cranes, and where our friend Woodrow is missing, and we're trying to find him, and we need to get in touch with the police. And with that information, they can do whatever they see fit, but we'll keep on going.
All right, they'll send their eldest boy out on the horse to the Dickleys to call it in.
Right, like the wind.
Ride like the wind. What are you guys gonna do?
Oh well.
Want to check out that quarry?
Mm-hmm.
You guys really have this thing for Woodrow, so I guess I will go with you.
Well, you're welcome. No, I was going to say, well, you're welcome to stay here, but you are not welcome to stay here. Let's go.
We're just going to take a quick look, and if he's not there, then we're just going to continue on.
Sounds
and
like a
that's
plan.
as much effort as we're going to make.
All right.
I like that,
20
but-
minutes of our time, Woodrow. That's it. All right, let's go.
Okay, so you arrive at the quarry, and you see that an unearthly glow is emanating from the center of the quarry, and it's an old quarry, so it's filled with water. There are strips of copper, like kind of like wire, but like more like strips that radiate out from the rim to the center, or from the center to the rim. And you see that like energy crackles along these strips of copper heading out, and you can see actually as you arrive, like this energy is just kind of billowing upwards. There's smoke and mist, and it's good that light, that energy is kind of illuminating that mist, because you can see something large with bat wings just as it swoops down on the car that you're in. So, fun times.
I plant my face into Amanda's lap.
Did you say it swooped down on the car?
Yeah, it swoops down onto the car, and it starts like scrabbling at the door. And we'll say that it's scrabbling at Amanda's door, because that's good.
Are we
Away.
still in motion?
Drive
driving?
away. Drive away. Drive away.
Okay, yeah, we're turning around.
Can I push Amanda out? No, I'm just kidding. It wants
I'm gonna get
you.
2 in driving. I'll try to lose it.
Okay, so you're gonna like try to outmaneuver it. You guys gonna do anything else to get it?
Yeah, I'll shoot at it.
You'll shoot at it out the window.
Yes.
Great idea.
No, like
Okay.
I'm on. So wait a minute. So if Amanda she's in the back, yes, and I'm next to her.
You're next to her.
So I'll shoot by her because I'm an
Yeah.
expert.
Yeah,
It'll
you're
be completely safe.
pretty much just aiming like right over her face.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a firearms 4. I know what I'm doing.
Good. You're gonna need it.
Okay,
I'm
let's do
getting
this.
down.
Wait, don't get down as I'm shooting. It seems like a bad idea. Stay still. Don't move.
All right. So, Eugene, why don't you roll a driving check, and you may or may not want to spend points on this. I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll spend a point.
Okay.
How do I do that? Do I get like a
So
plus
it's
one?
you roll you spend 1 point. It gives you a +1 on your die roll. So and then you roll a d6. Awesome, great. So
Wow.
you like spin the car around. It skids in the gravel. There's right, and just then Dr. Lansdale fires. So roll your firearms,
All right.
and this will be
Uh,
hard. I will just flat out
so
tell you it's
Do I
hard.
need to use points on this one?
I would recommend
Yes,
it.
you do.
Okay, can I use like 4 points?
You can.
All right, I'm gonna do it. Ooh.
Okay. You fire at the thing, the hideous, horrible thing out there. Awesome. Get my stats up for this guy. All right, you shoot it. You shoot it hard, and you actually hit it, which is good.
Nice. Do I deafen him in there? By accident?
Yeah, possibly. So roll a d6 to see how much you damage the creature.
Aw.
Okay. Okay. All right. And you see that you kind of wing it. Basically, you like clip it on the wing, and you hear this screech, this unearthly, just spine-chilling screech, and the screech is echoed in the center of the quarry. And Amanda, you actually see this mostly because your your ears and just your very soul are just filled with the screaming of both the firearm and the night gaunt. But it's echoed by Woodrow in the center of that energy in the middle of the quarry.
Ooh, so Woodville is the source. We have to kill him. I think we have to pull like a Thelma and Louise here. We drive right into Woodville.
Do I think that they're somehow their health levels are somehow tied?
That might be a stretch.
Health levels. They got bars over their head.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how they're somehow they're connected.
Right. That might be a stretch. It's possible, but you know from having compiled those papers together that there were two separate spells involved. One to summon a thing and one to summon the ancestor.
Lovely.
So Woodrow's in the quarry?
Yes.
Let's go save him. I feel heroic all of a sudden. Open the door and we'll like grab him and pull him in or something.
Can we drive down there? Do we have to climb?
Well, now this is the interesting part. So, as you kind of skid around and you get kind of up you're along the rim of the quarry. So the quarry is a gigantic pit that is filled with water, and there are these like copper strips that are just barely wide enough for a car that lead from the rim to the center, and there's like energy coursing along each one of these strips, and it all coalesces in the center of the quarry with, giant pit of water between you and that center, where Woodrow is standing, being tormented in some manner. It's a little hard to see from all the way over here.
See, it's still not too late to run away, guys. I'm just going to put this out there.
It's totally true.
We can just grab him, get in the car, and then we'll drive off.
Right.
Dude, that's what I do.
Yeah, but getting there might be challenging since
okay.
you have to drive.
Can we drive along the strips right to the center?
Right. Yeah.
And then put it in reverse and go right back?
Sure.
That sounds like an awesome plan.
Yes.
In fact, let me get out while you execute that plan. I want to film this for a selfie,
Well, how far from the edge of the quarry is Woodrow to the center? What's the radius?
It's I don't know. It's farther than gunshot distance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is the night gaunt still on Amanda's door?
No, you fired it. It flew off a little ways. It's probably coming back though.
Okay,
Goody.
that's awesome. I get ready to shoot again.
Okay, you get ready to shoot again. Amanda, what are you doing?
I'm just wondering if they're talking obviously about driving across one of these copper things that are effectively perhaps a little electrical. Is that not going to affect the car in some way?
Oh, probably.
You know what? One life is worth three, Melissa, clearly. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, well, whatever.
Tires are made of rubber.
The tires are, yes. The rest of the car is not. And how much gas do we have left?
Probably just enough to make a good explosion.
I got a great idea, Amanda. You jump out, you mount the night gaunt, you fly it into the quarry.
Fly into the quarry.
I don't think I have animal handling here. I don't see it on my list of skills.
Eugene, you have been a wheelman before, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
Indeed. You have driving. You do see that as you're kind of skirting along the rim, that there is part of the rim that is sort of sloped upwards. You might be able to
This is awesome.
ramp.
Farther than a gunshot, though. That's cool. Eugene, I think this is it. You've practiced your whole life for this. Don't think about the 2 lives in the back.
If we ramp, we still have to land, and we're still going to land on the copper and the electricity.
No, I think it's okay. As long as you land on Woodville. I mean, to rescue him, of course.
And then how do we leave after we get there?
It's okay. It's okay. Woodville will be saved.
Right.
I think we need to get a closer look at the copper electricity strips and get a sense of what they are and how dangerous they are.
Okay.
If we can.
So, should I get out and walk across the strips?
Yes,
I'm going to
totally
get out
should.
and get a closer look at the strip, if that's going to tell me anything.
Okay, so Eugene, you're going to hop out of the car, which means you're stopping the car because you're driving. Dr. Lansdale, are you getting out too?
Yeah, I'm going to go fire at the copper and see what happens.
Okay, so you get out, and as you hop out of the car, of course, that night gaunt is swooping towards you.
Hence why I'm staying inside the car.
Amanda, you can stay in the car. Dr. Lansdale, it's swooping at you.
Wait, am I still kind of all like attuned to my firearm because I was raided, or was that kind of over?
That's a one shot. So yeah, when you fire at it, it's gonna cost whatever firearms you got.
Okay, I grab Eugene in fear.
Okay.
I will shoot at it.
All right. So Eugene, you're gonna shoot.
Yes, and I'll spend my 1 point of firearms.
Go ahead and shoot.
I know you can't tell if I'm making a fool right now, but I literally grab Eugene.
Okay. So Eugene, you take aim. You use your firearms knowledge. You fire, and the night gaunt is all black, leathery, in the night. It's dark out, and the thing itself is pitch black. And you would have hit like a normal person. You would have hit that cop back there. But this thing moves with supernatural speed and stealth, and it just ducks down just as your bullet goes whizzing by it.
Ah.
Meanwhile, it swoops in to grab.
It's gotta be like a 50-50 at this point, because I'm grabbing onto him.
Do
We'll take it both.
scuffle. Okay. All right. So, Dr. Lansdale,
Uh-huh.
go ahead and roll your scuffling. You want to beat a 5.
Where's scuffling? Oh, I got 6 points to use there.
Okay.
This doctor is strangely good at fighting. I guess I will. Can I use? If I use 5, do I even have to roll?
Yes, you still have to roll, but it's kind of a
moot point. So I'll use 4 then.
It's an auto tie if you roll a 5. If you get a 5.
Okay, so I will use 5.
Okay.
And I'll roll. Did that work?
No, you need to put the slash before the R.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Yay!
All right. So you block by hiding behind Eugene.
Nice.
Eugene, roll scuffling.
Okay. I'm going to spend 3 points.
You can do it, Eugene. Don't mind me the fact I'm crouched behind you, so don't turn around too fast.
Okay.
Whoa!
All right. So Eugene, you basically you like dive down so that the night gaunt cruises right over the two of you. You actually feel its claw like just catch the back of your coat, and you hear it rip as it flies over. And the two of you are now like down in the dirt. Amanda.
Is there some way, like, I can't remember, these 1930 cars are kind of odd shaped. Is there some way I can climb into the front seat from the back?
Sure.
And then, like, because I have drive, it's not great, but at least I can pick them up and like zoom out of here.
Yes, you can definitely hop into the front seat. You can't really, there's no like crane that you can scoop them up with.
No, but I'm hoping that they can, if I can get close enough to them, they can grab the door.
Sure. They're not far because they
We're,
they
like right
only took a
outside the
few
car,
steps. Right? Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah.
We can get back in the car.
Okay, so I'll yell, "Get back in the car!"
What do you think, Doctor? If we
Okay,
get back in the car?
Jump back into the car. Okay.
Or do we have a perfect shot at it right now?
You do not have a perfect shot.
Okay, we're gonna get back in the car.
Okay, so you're gonna like scramble for the car. You scramble into the car. Meanwhile, the light in the center of the quarry is getting very bright and it's turning red.
Okay, yeah, we're booting it out of here.
Booting it out of there?
No.
I'm now driving.
Crush it.
I say
Crush
we're
him.
getting out of here.
Damn
All
it,
right,
Amanda.
Okay, so Amanda, you are driving, and the car. I'll wrap this up because it's already 3:30. The car, harassed by the night gaunt and probably expending all of your bullets to try to get it away from you, careens along the rim until you get back on the road. And as you do, you can see Dr. Lansdale and Eugene. You can see out the back windows because Amanda's focusing on driving. You see as the light gets brighter and more like blood red, and then there's this hideous like explosion and a scream, and you see in the center of the quarry, illuminated, you actually do see Chadwick and some old guy, and as you watch, some like dark figure emerges from Woodrow, and for just like a split second, or for just an instant, you kind of see like three figures there, and then that figure that emerging from Woodrow like merges in, and it touches the old guy, who just collapses, and just seconds later, Woodrow himself, like the energy just goes straight out of him, and he collapses himself. And the night gaunt, as that happens, you hear the night gaunt kind of makes this screaming cackle, and then there's nothing. You don't hear it anymore.
Yay! I'm gonna go home and watch the ball game.
That was weird. Well, on to Indianapolis, I guess.
On to Indianapolis. You've obviously lost Woodrow.
We'll never speak of this again.
Never speak of this again. And over the years, once in a while, in a dark alley, you hear that cackle. Just every so often, you catch a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of your eye. A dark wing. And over the years, first Dr. Lansdale was found murdered one night in an alley.
Or shot himself, likely.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Then Amanda. Eugene is the last one left.
Aww.
And then I shot myself for fear of an imminent death.
That it will get you then.
Yeah.
And
that is, own terms.
And that is Trail of Cthulhu. Thank you guys for playing.
I like short stories. That
was fun.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
We should do this as the AM, except I don't think David's gonna play with me anymore.
No, we did well. I'm pretty sure we were.
We kind of
almost
survived.
We did
saved
absolutely
Woodrow
nothing.
Well, it's like you learned half of the mystery, and then you said, "Whoa, never mind." Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
What-
have to do this again. This is fun.
Yeah.
One big difference between Trail of Cthulhu and like Cthulhu Live is, of course, in Cthulhu Live, it's all about how badly can you fuck over the other players.
Well, that's or how naked you can get in my case. Apparently.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on, Keith, it's you. So, anyway, well, thank you guys very much for playing. I had a good time. I hope you did too.
Yeah, let's
And,
make
For running.
Yeah.
We should
Good
do
job
another
of
one.
getting it in under 90 minutes. I was skeptical that could be done, but we did. Here we are.
Yeah, I've run this this scenario several times at conventions and
Has anyone done
online.
better?
Yes. We had one game where there were more players, and they actually killed the Night Gaunt using a Louisville Slugger. Eugene did it. He lost his arm in the process, but so like his baseball career was over.
It's flesh wound.
But he did, he did kill a Night Gaunt. It was pretty impressive.
Has anyone cast a spell? That's what I want to know.
It's nobody really starts out with a cult, so
Well,
it's really hard in this scenario, and that sidetracks so far off of the mystery that at that point you're just kind of like, oh look, we found a book, let's read it.
nice.
So all right, I'm gonna stop the broadcast so we
Yep,
can
all right, cool.
stop broadcasting on YouTube here.